picks in the previous patch, and even at the start of this patch. Just go for the ES Lina. You guarantee yourself a kill almost at level 3 from that support role. But
5 seconds remaining.
what do you do with it here? Nightmare into Fisher, Shackle Shot, Power Shot. I guess you've got stuff to set up onto. And he's pretty good against Spirit Breaker, pretty good against the Tiny Wisp. All around, you know, it's a decent hero to deal with the aggression, the charging forward, the hordes of Vega Squadron heroes here. Because, you know, Stampede, Charge, Relocate. There's so many ways of closing the gap that if you've got a Fisher, if you've got a Blink Echo Slam over on your Earthshaker, you can put a stop to it. You really can. It looks like Scant has lost full internet, full phone line, everything's dead. He's been cut off from the world. Oh well. Oh well. Shadow Demon. So it's going to be that one roll Centaur with Spirit Breaker towards the offlane. So solo over on the Wisp, Seema the Shadow Demon, and no one on the Tiny. So Pasha, Centaur for you. And you know, we were speaking in the previous game about his hero pool. The Ember Spirit, the Phantom Lance, the Gyrocopter and things like that. And Centaur is definitely a hero that he's picked up recently just to get into the thick of things as quickly as he can. But now you've got double pure damage. Well, you've got the additional pure damage from the Soul Catcher. And all these magical nukes coming out from Avatos, from that Centaur Stun and Double Edge. There's some squishy-ass heroes over on Team Liquid. Wind Ranger, super susceptible to these magical nukes. If she gets caught inside that disruption, the setup for all these stampeding heroes forward could be in a bit of trouble. Earthshaker's going to be on his toes. He's got to be the one that saves everyone. And the thing is, Liquid, they don't have much sustain. If they get initiated on by Vega, it comes down to their skill. It comes down to their timing on their spells and how they set things up for everything. Because they don't have a grave, a heal, they don't have anything to actually keep the fight going and make sure that everything's working okay. Oh, there's no Scant, so I can take that off. And remove his name from the list. He's gone. He's done. Yeah. Game number 2 here. That's a 2-game series. Vega up against Liquid in the defense phase 2. Mind control. Ward already down. TP's up the top lane. And good luck, says Pasha. And no TP's out from Vega this time. Last game we saw TP's everywhere. You know, getting to the tier 1s as quickly as you possibly can to get these observer wards down. And as an aggressive position as you possibly can. But solo, no one. Looks like it's the age-old strat. Clear trees, stack camps, control runes for this little old Wisp. But what's interesting here, actually, is that the Wisp isn't going to go for the bottle rush. Seema, with boots first. He wants to look to set up for the Centaur as much as he possibly can. Run forward, disrupt. Walk yourself with the Centaur, the crazy horseman, and get that stun down. So we've got Radiant Sight. Jirax. Is there over on the Bane? Fanta playing the Razor. Matoma Man on that Wind Ranger once again. And Kuro playing the Earthshaker. So Mind Control is going to be up on the top lane as this Clockwork. But there's multiple heroes that deal with this Clockwork relatively well. There's the Rubik who can telekinesis him out of the cogs. There's Earthshaker who can block his retreat from the cogs as well. But Disruption. Disruption's pretty good. If you can disrupt that Clockwork as he's trying to escape and get Pasha into a good position, then Clockwork, especially early on, is going to have a torrid time up at top. Kuro. He can block waves, he can control lane equilibrium, but he's just going to block with his body for now. And Fanta the Razor moves towards middle lane. Now this is a hero that they've seen a lot of success with, Liquid. They like to go into that stats heavy build. Get Fanta as tanky as you possibly can with the, you know, treads S and Y. He's starting things off with a static link already and solo. Without that bottle rush. Have to burn through a few tangos here and already in a little bit of trouble. So he's going to go stack some camps and no one. Has to hold his own on this lane with a stout shield as well. Down at bottom lane though. Mag, the Spirit Breaker. Already trading hits out. Jirax though with the Brain Sap and the right click attacks will be able to make full use of that. But the Tiny against Razor, like Tiny's been left alone against this Razor at the middle lane. And this is not what you want. Fata still not hitting into level 2 yet, but he'll reach there now. And the Plasma Field is so great against the Tiny Wisp combo towards the mid. Let's watch Mind Control though. I'm gonna watch Mag as well. Again for the Brain Sap. Jirax making his life a living hell. So Mind Control up at top. He's gonna throw the cogs out. He's already level 2, getting up into that level 3. But Mag, he's scraping away, bottom of the barrel kind of thing. Really struggling. to get some experience down there. Mind control already getting a double edge to the face as Pasha just runs him down. And trading of the hits. There's no stun, no soul catcher or anything like that, so no kill here onto mind control. They're just trying to force the salve, but maybe they'll look for the kill here. There's the soul catcher down onto mind control. He's got cogs, but he's already dead. Seema with a right-click attack out will secure that one. And that's it, the level 2. The level 2 hits, and that's the kill power out from the Centaur Disruptor, Centaur Shadow Demon lane with a disruption. Start things off, and that's a great beginning for Vega, for laning phase anyway. Tiny, 5 last hits against the 6 of the Razor. 5 denies for Razor's pretty good, forcing him out of lane. But this is all mitigating your losses. You know, you're giving away a little bit to the Razor now, but you're making sure that you've got a lot to build things back up as the game progresses. With stacks over in the jungle, Mag can start charging towards the middle lane as well, and maybe look for an opening onto the Razor with the Avatos coming through from no one. Mind control. This is rough stuff, but he sees the Shadow Demon walking himself back to base for mana. So he knows that he can actually battle it up. Oh god. Missed out on that one. Razor very, very far forward. But Mind Control knows that he can go far forward here. With the Shadow Demon out of the lane, the Centaur gets bullied a little bit. Gets pushed back by the cogs as Mind Control can spam those out a tiny bit. But Razor dying at mid, he ran forward with a static link looking for that damage drain out of no one. But level 4 Tiny. The Avatos combo's real, and Fata playing super aggressively here, even with the Earthshaker behind you. Kuroki, sure, he's level 2. He's got the long-range Fissure to initiate and try and stop the aggressive advance of Vega. But you don't really have the damage output to follow through. With the 1-2 build here, now into the 2-2, you've got some magic damage to just throw out onto the Wisp, but that's the target you're looking for. You want to kill the Wisp. You can't really kill off the Tiny, you know, look, no one. He's got the overcharge on him. He just blocks out a ton of damage. Fata can't really hit into him. Fata's actually tossed back in. Fissure is here from Kuro. And he'll be able to block out no one. No one. He wants to toss. He wants vision up on the high ground. He sees the Razor and he'll be able to cancel out the salve there. Not going to get the kill just yet, though. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened earlier on. Toss back into the Wisp and the Razor gets caught out. Solo. Oh god, this is going to be tight. Tethers across the Shadow Demon. And this could be a kill potentially. They get the bounty rune as well. Fish will block no one, but on the wrong side. Fata, there's no mana on the Tiny, so he should be okay to run himself back. But Solo's got a DD. He's going to chase this one down, and he's just going to run down the Razor. A couple more hits in. The Shadow Poison doesn't dissipate, and Solo just needs a little more movement speed. Needs to catch up with a DD rune on him. Somehow gets the kill, and Kuroki. Is Kuroki dead here? They're plinking away with the little orbs, the little balls hitting into this Earthshaker. No one avalanche into the dead Kuroki. Charge from Mag will land. Bashes him on the noggin. And Jirax left on his lonesome. Tries to brain sap Solo down, but he's not going to get that kill. Not just yet anyway. So 4 kills to the good. Vega start things off with fire in their belly. They know what's up. Well, up a top lane, Clockwork dies again. So Seema the Sailor, yeah, the Sailor, the Slayer. He's just running around making action happen wherever he goes. Well, they've put a couple of heroes middle lane now. So Jirax with Fanta towards the mid. Are they going to tri-lane middle lane? Kuroki's walking here. They need an observer ward down. So they want some high ground vision just to watch out for where that avalanche toss is coming from. If the Tiny starts running towards you, you need to know. You need to know what's going on. And Clockwork scouts out a couple of stack camps here. The trouble is, Liquid, do they have a way? Do they have a way to go and clear these stacks? Fata can go in with a plasma field, but they don't have some guaranteed, really satisfactory way to clear out these stacks. Oh man. Pasha, he just keeps going in. With his Tranquil Boots up, he doesn't really care about losing too much HP here, and he doesn't have Stampede. He's got another double edge. Oh, there we go. Mango actually popped. He stampedes, but he's not going to get it. Doesn't chase down the Clockworkers. Battery Assault's popped up by Mind Control, and it's just a little bit too risky for the Centaur. Oh, one hero that we haven't really looked at is Matu's Wind Ranger down at bottom. Misses out on the Shackle, but he's 45 and 20. He's last hitting like a fiend down in this bottom lane. Phase Boots up already. His Bassi Null build, which he always seems to go for, is already in full swing. He's level 6, getting into level 7. The Centaur is a little bit ahead because of that kill and assist that he's got to his name. Wind Ranger. With that Focus Fire Aghanims upgrade, you can lock down a couple of these heroes and really make short work of them. The Wisp in particular. If you can get yourself in the back lines of the team fight and find the Wisp, that's a ton of Vega's team fight potential just going straight down the drain. Shackle him up, Focus Fire, and he dies, you know, within 2 seconds. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fanta does have a lot of ground to make up, though. And again, Razor isn't one of these heroes that goes and flash farms these jungle camps. Like a Shadow Fiend, like a Tiny. You need lane control. You need to really build up your potential in lane, and then you hit that critical mass. About 12 minutes in, when you've got, you know, like Treads, Aquila, and you just go and fight a little bit, you peak, you get yourself into a Yasha, and then you build from there. You take tier 1s, you just go and destroy. You break the back of the enemy. And it's with Razor, it's more about making the enemy scared of fighting into you than it is really charging in and just going balls deep. You know, Razor can go diving into towers with static link. You built up a ton of damage with that. Maybe they'll look for it with mind control, getting ready to hook in, but there's no one here. Tiny Whisper farming through the jungle. They don't want to show themselves. They know. Liquid are all missing off the map. And Liquid, they seem stuck. Not sure what to do with themselves. Kuroki's wandering around. He's got enough money for boots, but look, mind control. Okay, there's no tether. Solo has one. Now he's pushed back by the cogs. The Fisher pushes him out. He can now try and tether across to no one, and he should be free to do so. But Liquid cannot catch a break. They can't find kills. They can't find anything. Bottom tier 1 does drop as Mag is forced back, but in comes the Shadow Demon. Disruptions there with the static, with the Soul Catcher. Jirax from the side. He's got Nightmare. Onto this little Shadow Demon. Oh, get the Brain Snap and right-click attack to finish off the Spirit Breaker as well. Wind Ranger, though, retreats out with the Shadow Poison stacking up. He doesn't want any more of that on him. That sticky stuff is going to bring you down if you stack it up too much.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, Tiny treads drums in the works. But Pasha nearly has his blink. Oh, this is where the Centaur really starts to shine. Start looking for kills on the Razor, the Wind Ranger, and during the draft, you know, when the Centaur was picked up, this is what I mentioned. Wind Ranger. Sure, in the one role, you can farm up your Aghanims very quickly. You've got a lot of magic damage in the early game to actually fight. You know, similar to Gyrocopter, obviously you don't have the big cooldown, the big AoE splash out. But it's an early magical damage based hero that can build into physical damage during the mid game. With your Aghs, your Daedalus, and go with a Blink Dagger for a bit more mobility. But if you get jumped by the Centaur, if you get relocated on by this Tiny Wisp, you do not have the HP pool to survive through the damage. So I think a BKB relatively early on from a Totem Man is definitely what he's going to be looking for. After the Aghs, maybe after the Blink, but we'll see. It depends, like, player preference-wise, and how the rest of the game goes, obviously. Where he decides to build into. So if things start looking up for Liquid, they could go for Blink Daedalus over on the Wind Ranger and not really worry about the BKB. Positioning-wise, they've got Clockwork, Bane, and the Earthshaker. All positional heroes and heroes with displacement spells that can break up a fight and force Vega to split. For those of you just joining us, guys, this is game number 2. Game number 1 went the way of Liquid, but this game, 4 kills ahead, Vega. They've got a couple of heroes farming relatively well. Liquid, they're looking for that sweet spot, though. They've got Jirax running around now with level 6. He's well. They wanted the Fiend's grip onto Pasha, but he's not going to find it. Blink away on him. I'll get him back to safety, but a smoke up instantly, running now towards the middle lane. With the hook shot available to look for the quick and easy pick off on someone. And that someone probably going to be Seema the Slayer. Oh my god. It's never going to stop. Seema the Slayer. For some reason, I've got Sailor on my mind. I don't know why I keep thinking of sailors. Need to see a psychologist or something, maybe. Down the bottom lane. And no one's getting in there onto the tier 1. Solo behind him. And the rotation coming out here from Liquid. They've got the spells to stop them. But Vega, they've got to start reacting as soon. They don't know this is coming in. Hook shot into the back with the cogs trapping them both in. Mind control is there. The shackle of the Solo Fiend's grip onto no one as well. And this is a really great fight. They've picked up the Tiny Wisp. And they've got a good amount of kills. But the big thing is that they can now push into this tier 2 bot potentially, farm their own jungle, and they've regained map control. They're not pressured. They're not hiding in the corner anymore. They've used their spells, so they've got cooldowns on their ultimates. You know, everyone's got these black little diamonds around them, except Kuroki, because he's still sitting at level 4. But yeah, they can farm their jungle freely. They're not backed into a corner. They're not worried, because they just killed the big threat potential from Vega. But the big reaction comes out, and it's a smoke up again. Seema and Pasha. They're going to be running into the masses of Liquid heroes actually over in the Radiant jungle, though. Be careful with this one. Seema wards up. He sees Jirax, but the pings are coming out. I think Fata knows, and Blink stomp onto 2 Stampede as well. Shackle's not going to latch, but the relocate comes in. Toss forward. Kuroki's dead with the orbs finishing off the Earthshaker and Razor. And Matumba Man charge forward from Mag. He's going to bonk him, and he gets in with the net strike as well. Toss up, and they're all dead. Bane and Clockwork retreat back to the tier 1. But Vega, they treat aggression straight back with more aggression.
Boom,
And that's the Centaur. The Blink Dagger very early on paying off massively. Oh, Kuroki. Hang on a second. Is Fata scared about this? My control's pinging out, and he knows something's up. So I think the TP cancelled there was intentional, just in case the blink comes in from the Centaur and things go south quickly for Liquid. But all of this wasted space now from that one good move down a bottom lane, where they find the pick-off, they find the kills, farm their jungle, and they've got, you know, they've got the pressure building. They've got Vega not on the ropes, but they're getting there. You know, a couple of punches, and Vega would have been back on their haunches, thinking, right, we've got to desperately make something happen here. But now Liquid, they're back to grouping 4 people at mid. The quad lane mid, 13 minutes in. That's what we're at now. Net worth lead, nothing really in it here. Vega with a kill score lead, but farming-wise, this is what Liquid are always very good at. You know, Vega have the experience lead, but Liquid very good at farming and making sure their farm efficiency is up to scratch. Something that Tiny Wisp need to make up with. But once they have the Dragon Scepter up on Tiny, they can clear through camps, they can smash down towers, and they can combo up with this Centaur. Mag, Tranquil Boots, and Orb of Venom. Everyone's behind the Razor. Everybody defend the Razor. No boots for Kuro, went for the Soul Ring instead. And I'm hoping, I'm hoping he's got boots incoming, and he does. Solo, hiding away up at top. He's going to get his Arcane Boots, I'm guessing. Gets himself them. TPs are coming in, though, and Liquid, 5 man up the top. So 4 mid, 5 top. They're just roaming around here as an absolute mass. Making sure that Vega can't get the easy little pickoffs, you know, with Blink Stomp, with a relocate in. And maybe also the fact that Pasha has been missing off the map for a significant amount of time. Mag could be charging anywhere. They could be looking for the jump, which is why you're seeing this spread from Liquid. They've got heroes all offset from the Razor. Razor far forward, Clockwork looking for the hook from the side, and Matu waiting for the shackle. But I think it's tier 1 mid that Vega want. But if your lane's pushed out so heavily, you're not really going to be able to get it. DD down at bot. Roshan not really an option yet for either team. But tier 1 towers, you take a look. 3 are still standing for Vega. 2 have been taken by Liquid, and okay, that's where a lot of their gold is coming from. And that's how Fata has gone from being 0-3 and still having the top net worth. Honestly, this guy's ridiculous. Relocate is coming in. They're going to try and save him, and actually do. Pasha gets pulled back by Solo. Mag. You're charging forward, and you've got that purge onto mind control, the disruption, no, the nightmare. Actually going to save him up a little bit here. He'll still die, though. With the damage output from Soulcatcher and the bashes, hits, and smacks around from Mag. They'll clear him up. Blink forward. Stomp not on the Marcus. Fata gets himself back a little bit further. Seema looking for the disruption, but he won't find it just yet. And Razor will retreat himself back. But mind control caught up at top is Matu pushing out. He's got his phase boots and the majority of the way towards his Aghanim Scepter.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Now Liquid. Jirax's Fiend's Grip. They know where Pasha is. And he's all alone up here. without relocate for 30 seconds. This he blinks himself away. And they're not going to catch him. So Razor building into that Sanjin Yasha like Fata does love to do. Kuroki, observable for both of these supports. But you need to start prioritizing the farm on the Surge Shaker a little bit. Maybe you get Jirax's Glimmer Cape, or maybe a Force Staff. But Kuro, Blink Dagger would be amazing here. To counter-initiate up against Vega. Stop that aggression coming in. Ags, nearly done for the Wind Ranger, and Mind Control. He's a little bit lacking in the old farm department. 3,000 net worth, he's behind the Wisp. He's miles behind everyone else. I mean, same can be said for Mag, but this Mag's Spirit Breaker, he can just charge around. He's very reliant on his skill set. Spirit Breaker isn't that reliant on item progression, whereas the Clockwork, hook shot's good, cogs are good, but you'd love to have a Blade Mail or a Force Staff, get into your Aghanim Scepter, something like that, just to make it a little more worthwhile for your Rambo initiations to jump yourself in. I've seen Solo and no one, so they'll drums himself away. Avalanche just to try and kill off a couple more mud golems.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This is Liquid's area of the game. This is where their expertise really does shine. They can start taking control of enemy jungle, limiting the farm of this Tiny. And slowing down his Aghanims is a big deal. They're still grouping up as 4 towards the middle lane. Mind Control and Jirax farming jungle. Where's Fata hiding? Back towards his base. It's a really interesting sort of flowing move from Liquid here. Moving from lane to lane, but they're not wasting time. Like, we've seen this from a lot of teams in the past, where things get desperate, and you make this sort of conscious decision to group yourself up and go as a team, go as a squad. You lose out on experience, lose out on gold, but the fact you've always got like Matsumo Man farming somewhere, you're taking jungle camps, you're taking a lane somewhere, and you're also grouping up and pushing at the same time, they're being incredibly efficient about their movements and with their farming patterns as well. They're moving down to bot with the Invis over and Mind Control. And maybe, well, they've got an Observer Ward there, Solo. He's been caught, no tether for 7 seconds, that should be a kill on your Wisp. TP away from no one. Not going to get vision over on that. Meanwhile, towards mid though, Fata. He's caught. Nightmare's there to try and save him. He's going to get Avalanche up. Jirax brain saps back, and Fata's still alive. This race is tanked through it all. The Blink Force from Pasha, though, will clear up that while Jirax dies over on the back end. And that gives Tiny his Ags plus 400 gold. Maybe no one can start clearing through these tier 1s. I did get the one down at bottom lane, but Mind Control, no hook shot, can't get himself in there. Wind Ranger wanted to TP and wanted to try and shackle into it. That's a drum. Drum of endurance for Mag. 4 to 11, 19.5 minutes in. Vega, they're starting to get this lead back up and running. Experience has always been going their way. There's a little dip there, but for the majority of the game when they needed it to, Vega, they've been taking it. Again, down in part to Liquid grouping up a ton. Solo, gonna go for the Arcane's mech. Into the Greaves a little bit later on. But now I'm wondering, where does no one go? Because we've seen a bunch of... Well, we've seen one player in particular do some interesting item builds on the Tiny. No Tail. He loves his butterfly. I think no one is still one of those players that does like the... Occasionally the Yasha into AC. The AC BKB is probably what it goes for here. You know, you don't need that Yasha, don't need the Manta Style necessarily. There's nothing to dispel, nothing to try and get yourself out of. No nasty little message you'll be stuck in. Maybe in the Nightmare here with a Fiend's Grip, Jirax. He wants to start things off, but there's no teammates coming in. He's all alone here, and nobody wants to react. Matu is freely farming towards mid with Kuroki behind him. And the trouble is, if they do try and TP up to save, that opens things up across the map as well. The group up, Vega, wrapping around. Want to come in from the side. I think Rocket Flare's going to see them now. Yeah, they know it's coming. Charge forward. Going to be cancelled out by Mag, but they'll take the tier 1. And it'll be freebie for them. I mean, once again, you look towards the mid and the bot, though. Liquid. And Split pushing away. They lose a tier 1, but they're gaining so much foot ground here. Over on the other lanes. And it's forcing Vega to split up themselves, so Stampede, oh god no. He found himself a hole in the trees and the Razor will escape. Meanwhile, hook shot up towards Seam of the Slayer. He's got his disruption. I'm not sure about saving himself here with the illusions. One of the guys pushed back. There's a little purge. But Seema's dead. Fisher out from Kuroki will secure it. Needs his blink dagger a little bit faster, he feels. So he'll take the gold for that one. And now they know. Now they know there's an obs ward up on this high ground. So Rocket Flare, Jirax will clear that one out. And you're limiting a lot of this vision out from Vega, so they can't play as aggressively, especially near these tier 2 towers. So they've taken all the tier 1s. Good. Nice amount of bonus gold going towards them. Oh, Pasha's hunting in the enemy jungle. But you've got to start looking at Roshan and wondering when that's going to start getting taken down. Well, 10,000 net worth over on your Tiny. This Centaur, though, with his mobility items. No Vanguard. Now building into the Aghanim Scepter. No Pipe either. And that would have been the, very often the go-to third item for a Centaur. Just that massive damage reduction on the ultimate once you get that up and running. It's gonna negate to see what he goes for. The blink into Hood is something that a lot of people have gone for. I know Mag used to do that a ton when he played offlane Centaur. Aghanim Scepter is very often the go-to third item for a Centaur. Just that massive damage reduction on the ultimate once you get that up and running. It's gonna negate a lot of Matovaman's actual focus fire damage. Speaking of, his Aghanim's is done, but he doesn't have that blink or the Chrysalis that comes out next. Against the Wisp, very often you want that positional ability just to jump past everyone, get away from the Centaur and the Tiny when they jump forward, the charge comes in, and you go into the back. You look for the Wisp, you look for the Shadow Demon and try and catch them. Maybe we'll see Matu go for his old Blink Dagger. Pasha and Seema, they're walking into a little bit of a trap here. I'm not sure this is where they want to be heading. Matovaman, is he going to die? It looks like he's going to get the wind run off. The Nightmare is there, and in comes the relocate. Okay, the toss, Avalanche, and Matu's dead. With no one slapping around Jirax, the rest of Liquid on the back end. Kuroki's caught, he's got Echo Slam, but Mag bashes 17 freaking %. They get 3 for nothing. And even though it looked like a bait from Liquid, the onslaught of damage from Vega was just way too much for them to handle. They couldn't react in time, there was no one ready to turn the fight around. I mean, Mind Control didn't even get his hook shot out. They couldn't turn. It's going to be a free Roshan to Vega, it looks like. Buyback's not going to be coming out from Liquid. They don't want to be wasting gold and time. Just give the Aegis over to Vega. Let them have it. Let them get all the gold from this one. But Vega, where do you go from here? What's your next objective? Tier 2 down at bottom lane? Do you going to go for more kills? Go and take a big team fight? Why the hell not? You're walking into heroes who are very item reliant. You know, the Wind Ranger, Razor. Oh, wow, okay. Fata doesn't go for the S&Y. Yasha into BKB. So now he's not going to get stunned, stomped, and purged up. That Soul Catcher on top of him as well. So that BKB is going to be pretty hefty in these team fights just to try and carry them through. He's going to be the bulwark, the frontline tank. Try and soak up as much as he can. In terms of physical damage anyway. You still have to worry about Matovaman because if there's a BKB over on Fata, you just know that Vega are going to be tunnel visioning this Wind Ranger over and over again. Making sure they get the initiations down pat onto the poor red-headed archer. Now they've seen Pasha running himself across. So Matovaman, Stampede, forced. They've got a blink as well. Can go forward, stomp off the mark as the hasted Wind Ranger just keeps on trucking. Half duration left on this. The charge is coming through, but look at Jirax. They're going to turn and find this kill. Easy pick off onto the Bane. Nightmare's there, but man, oh man. A damage output from no one. Shadow Demon gets the final click in.
Dire's middle tower.
They don't kill the Wind Ranger, though. There's your AC. So Ags into AC after the drums treads. We've also seen a lot of Tiny's Era does it, where you go multiple moon shards just to keep your item slots free. Like the drums treads are always useful for your Tiny. Late into the game, you know, maybe you think about the boots of travels too, but you're gonna have to relocate for that. But going for moon shards, you free up item slots to give yourself a ton of attack speed. It's great for you. But something we also saw from Era's Tiny was a Desolator. Oh, I don't think we see it this game because Vega aren't in a position where they have to all in onto towers. They don't heavily rely on the Tiny just like backdooring into tier 3s and taking down racks. They can team fight and they've shown it. But they have prioritized a little bit of farm over on Kuroki. He's now sitting about 900 gold away from his Blink Dagger. Oh, hang on a second. Getting a little bit closer as well. But in comparison to the rest of them, look at him. Net worth 2,800. Very little to his name. Mid tier 1. Getting thwacked a little bit by the Tiny, and Mind Control's eyeing this one up, but I'm not sure about this. There's Aegis, there's Wisp, there's Relocate, and there's also a Centaur waiting in the wings, just ready to jump himself in. Hookshot and BKB both expended here by Liquid, but the Cogs trap them both in. Pasha's in the thick of things here. No one's going to lose his first life, with Aegis going to pop. There we go. But Solo, he's waiting on the back end. Kuroki, he's got Echo Slam, can walk himself into this one. No one. Not going to turn and fight as Mag charges and cancels. Fisher will block him, stun him, and he'll walk it off. All they want, Vega. They've got eyes on the tier 2. Matumba Man, he's jumped himself forward. With another strike, stomp, double edge. Pasha's caught there, disrupted up though, and Mag runs in. The hit's coming out. Mind Control, Echo Slam out from Kuroki, but no one's still tanking through it all. He's got the damage output he needs. Mind Control and Fanta are chasing down Seema the Slayer pretty nicely here. Nightmare, good, keeping that Tiny on lockdown, but they'll still catch Fanta here with a toss forward. He's tanking through it all, and they get the kill on the Centaur before they get the kill on the Razor. Jirak's still alive, and Mind Control TP's out. No one. They took his first life, and then they ignored him. They killed off the rest of the team, taking down the Shadow Demon and the Spirit Breaker very, very early on. The Centaur. And he got trapped in Cogs at the start of the fight and started running himself around. But that double edge, it really is a double edge. Aghanim Scepter is nearly up for him, but after that you've got to think BKB has got to be on the cards. The Nightmares from Jirax, really what made that fight. Nightmaring up multiple people, keeping them from moving around the fight freely, and really kiting very nicely from Liquid. But all in all, taking Aegis, losing tier 2, losing a team fight there, and expending, the majority of your ultimates. Vega's still going to be relatively happy with this. They've got a strong, firm grasp on this. And they're stopping Liquid getting any footholds. And there's been a couple of key moments here where Liquid have maybe looked at it and thought, okay, we've got a little bit of room here, we've got a little bit of wiggle room, get ourselves some time, some space to actually farm in our own jungle. But look, no one wanders into the enemy jungle. His jungle's mine. Tiny takes full control. Top lane, dangerous as well. You can see Mind Control's hiding away over in the side, allowing Kuroki to get his Blink Dagger though, and that's going to be a key factor. And Chance, and Blink Dagger. He's not going to have level 2 Echo Slam though.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Not going to have level 2 Echo Slam just yet. It's like first world problems. When you're farming in the jungle with Sand King, you get Blink before you hit level 6. And then when you're a support Earthshaker and you get Blink before level 11. Pasha, oh, he's jumped in here with Fanta BK being up. Solo is going to be able to get forced out, and Mag retreats wisely. But the BKB's down for Razor. And if they don't have that up, Fanta doesn't have the freedom in the fight just to glide around. Static Link can kite people as he pleases. But they'll hold their tier 3s for now. No one. He still wants a piece of this. He's got a DD up, the Shackle, back from the Catapult, and Solo. They've got Disruption. They've got the Tether. And no one will only lose a little bit of HP and mana from the Cog push back. What else have they got? Stampede on cooldown, but no Aghanim Scepter just yet. Up for him. They don't really have vision up on this high ground. So looking out for Fanta, looking out for Matumba Man. A good Shackle here. Oh, range creep dies, so they don't latch it back onto anyone, and no one just pounds on into the tier 3. As Mind Control tries to control him up and keep him away from the tower, and he'll succeed for now. No one backs away, waits for the Cog to disappear. And Jirax's Nightmare Plasma Field just spamming out everything they can. Vega, they've got Liquid on the ropes. There's nowhere Liquid can move. They're forced to defend this tier 3. They can stun him up all they want, but he's got a DD. They're not going to look for Rax here just yet. Maybe a fake back. No, Centaur is going to go all the way back to Fountain to regen up. Get his Aghanim Scepter. And then we go for round 2. Waiting for Roshan is a possibility here for Vega, just to give them that, bolster their lineup a little bit more. Give Tiny the second life. So he can literally go and stand up on high ground and take Rax on his own. No one else has to go and stand up there. And then they can play reactively. Reactively disrupt and charge in, and force Liquid to move out of their safe zone. Move out so they don't have the perfect Blink initiation from Kuro. So they don't have Mind Control jumping himself in, who's in fact going for a BKB first item. No Blade Mail, no Force Staff, no mobility or utility. Once again, Liquid choosing to group up as 4 and move themselves into the enemy jungle. But Vega, they're doing a very, very similar thing. Drawing lines all around the map, but in a circle. I'm not sure where they want to go, but I think they want to dance around each other. Oh, Matsumba Man. No closer to his Daedalus. If that's what he's going for. I only assume so. Fata. Probably go for the AC next, I think, after S and Y. Skadi is a great item up against Tiny, though, I've got to say. Potentially Skadi instead of the AC. But there's no one else to really go into it. You need the extra armor to try and counteract this. And there we go, Butterfly. From no one. Not exactly the same build as we've seen from No Tail, but still, a Butterfly. One of the best items up on Tiny. Attack speed, armor, and evasion as no one is shackled, but disruption's there. Reactive play here from Vega as they can turn this fight around, but no one. Oh, the relocate. Is it going to be Echo Slam comes out from Kuro, and they've caught them. Solo's going to drop low, but they're not going to get the kill, and Mind Control's dead. No buybacks on the ES or the Clockwork, and Vega probably have this one in the bag now. Matsumba Man wind run away, but the toss comes through and finishes him off. Mag can charge forward, but the double edge will secure that, and Mag diving behind the throne. Fata's the last one standing. He can buy back into this, but there's no one to help him. Glyph here from Liquid, but Vega. Vega, full control. Tiny Wisp combo. Here we go. This is what they were famous for back, what, 5-6 months ago when they were first building themselves up as a tier 2 team. Tiny Wisp was their go-to strat. And it's one of the reasons why Team Empire kind of theorized up against the Tiny Wisp mid. They started playing Dazzle Brisback was because Vega were playing it so bloody often in these CIS matchups. Oh no, Fata, no BKB. Razor dead for 80 seconds. And you're going to lose a full second laner axe here. Luckily for them though, Liquid, the tier 2 up at top is still standing. So Vega have to move themselves out, go and take Roshan, go and take other objectives before they can actually go and take the tier 2 and Rax up at top. Spirit Breaker, Glimmer Cape Sand. This is like the thrift shop item build. Just going for these little useful items. Nothing is really out of the ordinary. You know, we've seen Glimmer Capes, we've seen Sand, we've seen Tranquil Boots, we've seen Drums, but all of them together, you know, they're all very, very gold efficient items. Very, very thrifty from Mag there. Well, no one's like the complete opposite. He's just got big, chunky, expensive items. The Gucci Tiny. Loads of gold on him. Seema going into the... Oh, wow, the Aghanim Scepter. I've seen this a ton in pubs where Shadow Demons have rushed Ags to get that triple purge and the break mechanic out. There's nothing really to break, but it's just the triple purge. Going through BKB onto the Razor, the Wind Ranger, and potentially the Clockwork who's trying to escape. Liquid can't contest this. No bloody way. No one gonna slam into the Roche. Oh god, Jerax. Where are you going? Buddy. He gets a deep wall down. Hiding away in the trees. But Vega, they're charging down the middle lane. They want to find pickoffs, and they've got vision over in the enemy base. So they're gonna be able to see Matsumba Man, Mind Control, Kuroki in a second. They wander themselves over. And Mag wants in on this. He wants to charge forward. Oh. Not going to go for it just yet. They've got to push top tier 2. They've got mid and bot really shoving hard on in. So are they going to go for tier 4s here? The safe play obviously is go for tier 2 up at top and shove this one in, but looks like Solo, along with these tiny illusions, is going to try and keep the waves as far into the base as they possibly can.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, Kuro, now's your time to shine. Once again, it would be lovely for him to have that level 2 ultimate. To have that Echo Slam up with a Blink Dagger, but it's not going to be. They smoke up, and this is their last stand. Well, this is going to be it. They've got to make this work because they've got no buybacks. Hook shot in onto no one, but Pasha's here. The Blink Echo Slam's ready, but where's it going to come from? The Earthshaker's not making the jump just yet. The BKBs are popped by Mind Control and Fata as no one just starts charging and slamming them down. He's got the Aegis, he's got the Butterfly, and there's nothing that can stop him. They can charge back on into this if they want to with Mag running forward. Drums popped and they'll go in. Mind Control's bashed and hit and struck down from the nether. Oh, it would have been if Mag wasn't nightmared up, but no one will take the final set of ranks. Oh, not before he's shackled up by Matuma Man, and then turn this back around. Wisp relocates him over to the side, and Pasha finds Jirax, clears up the Bane, and that's pretty much it. Vega, their Echo slammed by Kuroki, but it doesn't do a damn bit of damage. And they clear up house as Earthshaker is killed off by that Centaur. So 1 apiece is the end score here in this 2-game series. 1-1. Vega tied up with Team Liquid. And I've got to say, game number 2, that was so convincing from Vega. With a tiny Wisp, now a strat that they're very comfortable with, the Centaur 1 roll as well. But that's it. 8-29. 8-21. 8-29. Man, oh man. What do we have in the end? Tiny 8-1. Centaur 7-1. But poor old Fata towards the mid lane. 1 and 8 on that Razor. Not a great old kill score. He did get a lot of farm though. I've got to praise him on that. His farm rate was very good for the deaths he did have. But that's it for tonight. Just one series. We'll be back tomorrow with more D2CL and defense action though. And yeah, apologies. I was meant to have a co-caster, but his internet died, so it was a little bit of a rush, a little bit of a surprise for me here in this game number 2. But hopefully everything went okay. So good night, guys. See you tomorrow again at 6:30 p.m. CEST over on this channel again. And D2CL is over on ESL_JD Red. But check out joindota.com. Match tickers up. And all the games, the streams will be up on there. So good night. See you tomorrow. I think I'll be casting.